not going to believe that you're just calling people's junk.
Katana. Who is Mad Jojo? The cop fucking planted evidence.
All the kids I grew up with are pretty much knuckleheads. My brother joined the game when he was 14, the Northerners, and they...
How much older is your brother than you?
He's 3 years older.
So you were 11 when he was 14, and he joined a gang at 14?
He was 14, got a tattoo on the back of his neck. He was Vadio Mil Paso Locos, Mexican gang.
Jeez.
A lot of Mexicans where we lived at. A lot of gangbangers there, and so what happened was my parents got a divorce when I was like 12, right?
Mm-hmm. And
then the first time I ever got arrested, I was 12 years old. Robbing my neighbor, me and my best friend David. We robbed.
You got arrested at 12?
12 years old.
Jeez, man.
And then so my dad sold cars. My mom started doing her own thing, selling houses and stuff. And my mom wasn't always there at the house when my brother was there. So there was a bunch of gangbangers always at the house and stuff, and I would show up there. My mom had a restraining order against my dad, right? So he had to drop me off down the street. So I'd show up, there'd be fools like hopping out of the car that were sleeping in the car all night, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Drinking all day, smoking PCP, just a bunch of knuckleheads, you know what I mean? Like the people that you wouldn't want your kids to hang around with. So my brother caught a case when he was 18 for a drive-by shooting. He went to prison, and then pretty much from the age of 15 to 35 years old, all I did was really use drugs and sold drugs.
From 15 to 35, so like 20 freaking years.
So I was doing it when I was like 18, 19 years old. I had a Mercedes on rims. I was making fucking $500 to $1,000 a day.
So,
I was living with my uncle.
Like actually?
Yeah,
like,
I was just blowing money though. I was going to the blackjack table, going to the bar, just fucking spending hella money there, and I was getting pounds.
Drinks, gambling, drugs,
clothes, whatever, you know what I mean? I always thought it would be there. And then I got addicted to drugs, and it just all spiraled down. You know what I mean? You can't use what you're selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't work out.
We're gonna take a break. I think we're at the first job. We're just getting started.
I got tons of soul on my true collectible. Famous, so famous, #1 desirable. I do what I want when I want and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air. That's how I roll.
How did I do?
I would say.
Be honest.
7.5.
Ah,
7.5.
Not bad.
You almost hit the kid.
I was just gonna say, you almost tripped over the little person.
I blame the 2-year-old, okay?
So what's interesting, I feel, about our story is that we definitely came from completely different places. I have no drug background history or in trouble ever with the law. I was a teacher, special needs education teacher. And what I did was I finally got the courage to leave a very controlling marriage that I was in for an extremely long time. So I got married at a very young age.
Do you mind saying how young you were?
I was 14 when I got together with this person, and I was 17 when I got married.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I left that marriage and ended up just walking out with 2 garbage bags. So we were starting our life over again at the same time.
So when you met him, were you also like 1 year out of the craziness that you were dealing with?
Yeah, I had about a year of finding myself being single and, living in a little studio. And
wow. So you both, like, you came from sounds like a shitty situation as well.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Yep.
And then he came from a really shitty situation. Wow. That is serendipitous. Ain't nothing but a G.
So this is how we do it, right? When we hire people, we say, how fast can you walk across the street? That's what we do, right?
Wait,
so what? Let me see how fast you can walk across the street.
Wait, what is this?
Check it out.
So when I first did it, I was like this.
I was like, that's like a $10 an hour walk, bro. You gotta move faster than that if you wanna get paid.
Wait.
So now how do you walk? He's getting paid big boy money now.
You run.
Let me try my walk.
Let's see. $3 an hour. Question, who looks the best out of all of us? I I know you're not gonna say me.
You got that right.
So I was on one out there in Alameda County, and I had a scale and some baggies on me underneath the car seat, and I wasn't doing the right thing. You know what I mean? I was a fuck up. And the cops pulled us over. It's like at 3 at night. They find the scale, the baggies. They're like, "Where's the dope at?" I was like, "I ain't got no dope on me." And then all of a sudden, about 2 minutes later, he came back and was like, "What's this?" "Oh, you got some coke on you." So I ended up going to jail. He planted coke on me.
What the fuck?
Yeah, straight up planted coke on me. I did like 8 months for that.
And you said you didn't even...
I didn't even have coke on me.
Yeah. You're like, bro, I can't afford cocaine. I was dealing meth. Cocaine's expensive shit.
Right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I went to court, and he was the guy letting us into the courtroom on the elevator, pushing the button. Same cop. But at the time, I was so tired of running and doing all this stuff. I was just happy I had somewhere to eat, somewhere to sleep, and somewhere to shower. Like, no bullshit.
Yeah.
I was just worn out.
So you're just like, yo.
I was like, I've done so much horrible shit. I ain't even gonna fight this case. I'll just do the time and it should be done.
And then how much time did you get this time?
Like 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. If you were to like add up all the months, what would you think you spent total time in jail? Like, because I know you said you were in and out a lot, right? 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. If you were to add up all those things together,
I would say probably around 3 to 4 years.
jeez.
But then I'd be on probation for like 6 months, and then all of a sudden I'd be in rehab. You know what I mean? I went to Salvation Army rehab, just in and out of jail a bunch.
And then what time? Like, at what age did you get out and start all this? Like, start over and get your life together?
So I was 35 years old. The first time last time I ever used drugs was in jail. Actually, I was locked up with my brother, and he had some dope on him. We did some drugs there.
Wait, so how the fuck do you do drugs in jail?
So my brother was in jail before, and he snuck some shit in. They gave it to this guy named D, and he still had it like 6 months later, because in jail you can sell for a hella high price. You give someone like a crumb and you can make hella money off of it.
There's drugs
so
in
he
jail.
still had,
What the hell?
he still had shit later on when my brother got locked up and I got locked up. So
What kind of drugs could people get in jail? Like anything?
everything.
Like you can get crack, meth, all that?
You can get anything.
That's insane. You got out of jail at 35, armed robbery. Oh my God, that's crazy. Armed robbery. What happens next? Like, you got it. You were sober at this point, or were you kind of like still doing drugs in jail? And
Nah, so last time I used was in jail. I got out, went to rehab, and I changed my surroundings. I moved out here to Sonoma County. I'd never been to Sonoma County before. Moved out here, went to a program out here, and started working a shitty job. I didn't get no job nowhere. And I remember I was at church praying for a good woman when I was in rehab. I was like, God, just put a good woman in my life. And it's hell crazy how Jojo came to my old job where I was making sandwiches and frying chicken, and she showed up to get some food, and I got her phone number, and we went out on one date, and then my life has just like changed. It couldn't get any better. Like, I got so much cash in the bank. I got my dream truck. I bought a house off junk money. I got a beautiful wife. I actually mentor people, an influencer. Life is just crazy. I never thought my life would ever be this good.
investor.
An investor.
Yeah. So Jojo, how was his? Did you order anything?
Oh.
Did you buy a sandwich?
Yeah, actually, it's very interesting because I never, ever ordered a sandwich from the deli at Safeway, ever. It just wasn't something that I ate. But I was running late to a soccer game, and it was going to be a long time before I could have dinner. So I ordered a sandwich, and it was a chicken wrap that they do at Safeway, and he was the one that made it. He burnt it.
Wait, you burnt the chicken wrap?
He did, because it's in a tortilla and you put it in a toaster. I don't think he'd ever made one before.
His first one or something?
Burnt it. He was so sweet. He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I can make you another one," but I was running late. I said it was fine. And a few weeks later, I'm walking down the sidewalk in Cloverdale, and I see a guy walking towards me, and I was like, he looks so familiar. How do I know him? And then he said hi, and then I was like, oh, that's the guy that burnt my sandwich. And my only comeback to him was, have you gotten any better at making sandwiches? And And he walked, we talked for a little bit and walked past me, and I looked back and he looked back, and I was like, yeah, he's looking back.
So you know the story, right? Me and the Jojo moved into an apartment. We both were starting our lives all over again. Her husband burnt her clothes and everything. Yeah. I got out of jail. I didn't have nothing but 2 garbage bags. My mom actually picked me up in Richmond off of BART
in San Francisco?
The BART station, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And she brought me to the Goodwill to get some clothes. I went to the program, and then me and Jojo hooked up and eventually got a little apartment complex.
Yeah. Actually, if it wasn't for my son, we probably wouldn't be together, because my son at the time was working at Safeway. And Matt came up to him and said, hey, what's the story with your mom? Is she single?
I was like, what's up?
What's the story with your mom? Is she single?
How long into dating before this junk removal idea came up?
That's where we were. Yes. So Matt, he was working at Safeway, hardly making ends meet. And, we had moved in together. And he knew he wanted to start a business. I need to start a business. I need to do something that gets me ahead in life. He's like, I'm 35 years old. Had been acting a fool for so long. I'm really behind. Yeah. He had friends that were, homeowners and having families, and they had, time to build, and he just needed to get back on track and do it quickly. Yeah. So he has been in the Salvation Army program. They were running around collecting donations, and a lot of people had stuff that couldn't be donated because it was just junk. And they would ask, what do we do with all this? Like, what, if you're not going to take it, who do I call? And so, Matt got to thinking, what? Junk removal.
So it was kind of from your program? They kind of gave you the idea?
I was working on the trucks, picking up donations like the Jojo said, and that's where the idea came from. And then it took like maybe a year later, I was like, man, I got to do something. And because we were broke as hell. Like, we were living in an apartment complex, had no money at the end of the month to do anything. So we started the trash business as a side hustle to make a couple extra grand a month to get ahead in life. And I had no idea what we can build. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. Like, the money started coming in. I'm on probation. I have like 10 or 15 grand at the house. I call my mom up. Hey, Mom, I got to drop this money off at your house. I don't want the probation officer to come by and take all this money.
Because you had cash now. They would think you were dealing drugs.
They're going to think you're doing something, right? They're certainly not going to believe that you're just calling people's junk.
Because I imagine you didn't have the Clover credit card machine when you first started.
First, we started with a little pickup truck, a long bed, 2002 Tundra. That's all I can afford at the time. It cost me $5 grand, and that was the best investment I ever spent money on, was that pickup truck. It wasn't the prettiest, but it got the job done. It just took off from there. The business just kept coming in. So my whole life I always hustled, like either sold drugs or we make CDs and sell them in the parking lot, at the mall, at the gas station. So I've always been a hustler. So I knew I always wanted to work for myself. And we did some gutter cleaning back in the day. We did all kinds of little hustles.
So it's in your system, hustling. So how long into your relationship do you think it was when you finally you were like,
I would say maybe 1.5, 2 years.
1.5, 2 years?
Yeah, I would say that.
Were you doing Safeway the whole time until you came up with that?
Man, they had me
burning people's sandwiches.
They had me frying chicken, making sandwiches. A grown-ass man making $15 an hour, and they were like switching my schedule up. I'd work in the mornings, work at nights. I couldn't get days off. It was horrible. I was like, I can't be doing this shit.
How long did that last?
Probably about 2 years.
2 years.
2 years of doing that.
Damn, that's crazy. Did you ever think, like, looking back now, did you ever think, like, when you had this idea of starting a junk company, that junk money would take you where you are now?
No.
Like, maybe you thought I'd make a little bit of money and survive, but not a boat in your freaking driveway and a Mustang or Mercedes.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, all the shit I've done in my life, I never thought my life would ever be this good. Like, I thought karma would never forgive me for selling drugs to family members, to people that got their lives, destroyed because of me. So I thought God would never let me have something like this, a business like this.
Give you 120th chance?
Yeah, pretty much, right?
We call it a second chance, but it's probably like 150 chances, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to Matt and Jojo's crib. Come on inside. A room right here where we can lounge and chill and watch our big screen TV. This is a 1,700 square foot home. Maker, I got an ice maker right here.
This is living room number 2.
So here's the YouTube room.
Oh, okay, so you twist the couch and you guys are both sitting right there?
Yeah.
Sitting here and working because it's the most relaxing place.
This is where we watch Andrew at nighttime.
I like being outside, so I spend most of my time in the backyard.
So let's check out the first vehicle I bought when I got out of rehab. Is this 1966 Mustang? This is our cruiser. We drive it maybe once every 2 months. And then we have the SL 500. They're over a $100,000 car. And then we got my dream truck right here, which is a Capstone. 35s on it. If you can see the interior of this thing, it's pretty damn sweet. Check it out. You can see we got my boat right here. This is a Mako. This is about a $40,000 boat, but it's covered up right now. And then we have that dump truck. So Julio has the other dump truck. And all this right here in this house is because of the junk business. Incredible.
Crazy day, and thank you so much for doing this, guys. I really appreciate it. I think 3 years ago at JunkCon, I remember saying to my girlfriend at the time, wife now, I was like, oh my God, it's Matt and Jojo, because you're, you know, like I watched all your guys' content, so I was like, oh my God, it's them.
Well, that's one reason why networking is so important and going to events and meeting people is because we wouldn't have met you.
Yeah.
We would not have met you. I remember when I first seen you, I had the camera, I was kind of filming, you know, oh, we're at the Junk Expo, and your face popped up and you're like, Jojo, I watch your videos. And so you were very outgoing and friendly when I first met you.
I didn't realize, like, you guys are killing it because I've never been over here, so rock on, guys. But let's get into some juicy Autopilot stuff, because if you guys didn't know, they are the first investor. You guys are the first investor, or the first bigger investor. You know, I had a couple smaller people who put some money in, like a few $100 here and stuff like that, but you guys are the first investor who not only put a good amount of money in, but you're also the biggest YouTube channel in junk removal. So that's going to also help a lot on the back end with you guys pushing subscribers, and we turn this into an empire. What are your thoughts on how we compare against the billion-dollar companies thus far? And be honest, like, be completely honest.
Autopilot, hey, it's killing it. I made 10 extra grand, 2 months ago off a text blast from Autopilot.
Yep.
You told me to text blast 1,700 people. Don't ever do that. Just so you know, my phone was going off the hook, and I got a good return on that.
So maybe start with how many people?
Maybe do 500, 300.
3 to
Don't
5.
do 1,700. We use it on the daily. The guys love it. There is a few little bugs, but nothing big. I mean, we use it on the daily, and it works great.
But yeah, a text blast is where you have a contact list, and you could just send them all a text message in one click, and it texts all 1,200, 1,700 people the same message. Hey, do you need your trash removed? How many jobs? So you made about $10,000. How many jobs do you think you got?
It was around 35 or 36
so
jobs.
You locked up 35 jobs over the course of a week or something?
It was a couple weeks. People kept hitting me up later on. They got back to me later.
So when's the next time you think you'll do a text blast?
Maybe a couple months from now.
A couple months?
Yeah.
I hated paying for others. I was using Chirp, which was $200 a month. And I was like, dude, why wouldn't they just put this into the software, you know? And then another feature that you use all the time that wasn't in the software that blew my mind is like a calendar week view. Do you ever use the calendar week view to look at your week?
Yeah, I do.
Like, it seems so normal that you would have to be able to see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a normal calendar that Apple and Google has, but they don't have week view in their calendar. And then also, do you ever use the route view on the map to see your route?
No, I love that feature. Yeah.
Where you can see the pins where you're going to drive all over the city. But the map feature is really like, you can see, I was like blown away that house call, jobber, they don't show your route. Like 1, 2, 3. And then you could have your route, like you can see Julio's route 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could see if you separate it, you'd see your 2 routes. And I was just like, why wouldn't they have that? Because I was running 2 trucks and I would always need to see their routes. So we're the best all-in-one go-to. So combining all the pieces of software into one where it's easy to use, because you have call tracking over here, you have call recording over here, you have marketing over here, you have your CRM over here, and then you have all these pieces. How do you put it together so that people could figure it out. And that's the other thing that that's a very hard problem to solve. I'm a numbers guy. I love seeing revenue per hour, average job size, how much of my money's coming from that. And there's a lot of stuff we're still working on data-wise, but I know you probably like seeing your stats at a glance on the dashboard, right?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I don't think you got that with the previous one. I think it would show basics, but I don't think you would get the breakdown that we gave you, right?
So I like the pie chart a lot. Yeah, I like knowing where my jobs came from, how many are realtors.
And it's just kind of like right in your face.
It's right in my face. I check it every day.
How do you take all 4 of these components, lower price, amazing data, all in one, all the tools, everything, with a good user, take that. How do you take all 4 of those components and make it more affordable?
Efficient. It just makes everything run more smoother. What would you say?
I'll tell you one thing. When I first started using Autopilot, when I would send the message to the customer when I booked the job the day before, they love that. I got so many people saying, "Hey, you sent me the message. I like that new feature you got." I said, "Oh, we're using a different CRM right now."
Yeah, so the automatic like job status text messages and all that stuff.
If you're running a service business, you definitely want to have a CRM. Autopilot is a good choice. It's really affordable and it's easy to use. I can plug in a job, send it to one of my guys or both of my guys, and they see exactly what's going down that day. So they're organized. They know exactly if it's going to be a quarter load or a half load, if the job's going to be curbside, if it's going to be in the backyard. We just makes the day flow easier. So, and also the routes with the map thing lets us know exactly, hey, we can get to this job a little bit sooner. Let's call this customer up. We're in the neighborhood. And sending the link for the reviews makes it easy. It's just something you want to have.
It's better to put it into the CRM than to be texting the addresses to the guys. Here, now go over here. Now go over there.
Yeah, that's sloppy. You don't want to do that.
It's dangerous too.
Yeah. It's the most annoying thing in the world. Like when you're trying to go through your notes and find the address and then text to the guy, go to this address. The gate code is this. I think he has this. Rather, when it's in a CRM, you just say, hey, open up the app. You'll get all the info.
If you want to level up your business, you got to have a CRM.
I have one final question that I like to ask everybody is, what are the future plans? What does the future hold for the Matt and the Jojo and Sonoma Strong?
We're just gonna keep plugging along with business. We like being the go-to junk removal company in Sonoma County, and we're just gonna stick with that and have the 2 trucks running, and our phone keeps ringing. Some people ask us, why are you guys still on the trucks? And we film videos on the truck. We enjoy the business, but we are at a point where if we don't want to work, we don't have to schedule us. We have people that can go do that. And I guess success means something different to everybody.
Yeah.
My success may be different than what you feel success is, but to me, success is working when you want, doing what you want, when you want to do it. And I feel like we are there.
Yep.
Just keep doing what I do. Motivate people, let people know, hey, you can change your life like I changed my life. I mean, I'm an ex-drug addict, ex-felon, piece of shit that changed his life. Now I motivate people.
Yeah.
And if I can do it, you can do it too. And I'm actually in the process right now of getting custody of my nephew because my brother's in prison right now. So I'm working on that. And then eventually just have me and Jojo take vacations, and I got everything I ever dreamed of. Like this is way more than I ever dreamed of. So, and hopefully Autopilot takes off, so I can get that house on the water even sooner. So that's one of the goals too. So,
as always, I leave you with this: success is often covered in dirt, but so was gold at one point. Toodles.